a Fox Sports NFL analyst. These mock drafts coming out. By the way, so we have 6 job openings, and I said what I want is a non-meddling owner, a good quarterback, and roster cap flexibility. The Chargers feels like to me by far and away the best job. You tell me, is it?
Yeah, I think it is the best job out there because you do have a quarterback in Justin Herbert who has shown you that he can play at a star level. You have defensive pieces in Joey Bosa, Derwin James, some of the other young players. So, yeah, I think someone who has a nice plan can come into L.A. and quickly get this team up to snuff because they have the talent to be able to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, they need to fix some little things on the offensive line. But from a talent standpoint, this team should be ready to go. It should be a quick fix for the next coach.
You know, I said this earlier that if you went to a restaurant and had 3 bad meals in a row, you would not say that's a well-run restaurant. If you went to a car dealership and had 3 bad experiences, you wouldn't say, well, it's well-run. The Eagles now, 3 years removed from the Super Bowl, are a losing team in a bad division. They're noisy. They're public. They're becoming the Jets with a better record. I look at them, and we subscribe to they know what they're doing. They're very well run. Since the Super Bowl, Bucky, they don't look well run to me. This Doug Pederson thing feels like a public mess.
Look, it hasn't gone well since they won the Super Bowl, and I think it's hard. Once you win the Super Bowl, everyone begins to kind of chime in and figure out to try and determine who deserves credit for the success. I think the organization is at a crossroads right now. Doug Pederson has to recapture the locker room. They have to reestablish the culture of the franchise. They have to figure out what's going on with Carson Wentz and making a decision on who is going to be their quarterback going forward. And then they have to get it right when it comes to the draft. This is a team that needs their young players in this next class to come in and make an immediate impact. So, yeah, I can't knock you for saying that it hasn't gone well for the Eagles. Right now, they have to hit the reset button. They have to get it right going forward.
Listen, one of the reasons I subscribe to the theory that Brady would do well this year is because he had very good aging traits. Diet, work ethic, coachable, focused. He's a compatible personality. One of the reasons I have subscribed to the theory that the Steelers, I have doubts, I don't think Ben shares in those aging habits, diet, focus, off season. Would you admit today that Brady has surpassed your expectations in Tampa?
Yeah, I would admit that because he was a declining player the last couple of years in New England. And really, the Patriots were able to win with their defense and their style of play kind of covering up some of his deficiencies, particularly down the stretch. But in Tampa, he's surrounded by an improved set of weapons on the outside. He has found a way to kind of impress the way that he wants to play on Bruce Arians, and it worked. And with Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they have enough weapons to be able to get it done. That said, we'll see what this looks like in the postseason. They're not a perfect team, but they certainly can win a couple games and make it tough on some of the teams that they could face in the postseason.
So the Browns this morning, I feel bad for. I mean, really do. Here, Stefanski can't coach. They lose their offensive guard. But I will say this, because I do think I think it's a tough spot. They got to beat Pittsburgh again. They don't have their coach. Pittsburgh gets to the quarterback, and now they're missing their top pass-blocking offensive lineman. Not going to be a great weekend for the Browns. But I will say this, is that I will give them a pass. If you look at the history of their dysfunction, that making the playoffs was the goal. They are not the Ravens. They are not, they're not a gold standard. They're not Green Bay. They're not New Orleans. I would make the argument, regardless of this weekend, you have to look at this season as an absolute success. No denying it. Is that right? Fair or right?
Oh, that's absolute. Like, it is an outstanding season by Kevin Stefanski and his coaching staff. They've gotten this team to go into the postseason. When you think about the drought that took place in Cleveland, the fact that they've been able to clean it up so quickly, I think that's the bigger surprise. Because remember, you talked about it being noisy. It was noisy last year with Freddie Kitchens and all of the stuff. Because we expected this team to pop last year. They didn't do it. They come back this year. They're quiet. They're focused. They go about their business in an understated way. and they have a style of play that is conducive for them being a team that is a factor for the long term. Now, they will eventually have to pay the quarterback, and they have to make a decision on how much of Baker's success is a product of his talent and whether it's really a product of the system. Because when you pay him a ton of money, you may lose some of the weapons around him. So you really got to make sure that that valuation is correct. But for the first year, Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, look, man, they get high marks for what they've been able to do with this team.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put the top 15 draft positions right now this morning in the NFL up. And you're a former scout, so I'm going to ask you. I don't need a long explanation, maybe a sentence. I'll give you a team. Do you draft a quarterback? So Jaguars, yes, we know that. Let's get Jaguars out. Draft a quarterback. Jets, draft a quarterback or go O-line. Jets, what do you do?
You take a quarterback because it resets the clock. It gives you a longer run at being able to build a Super Bowl contender.
Okay. Dolphins 3.
Whew, that's a tough one. I think you stick with Tua Tagovailoa, and I think you can auction off to pick for more picks, more players.
Falcons with an expensive old Matt Ryan.
Well, I mean, you're trying to lead me. That would be leading the witness. Yes, you go and get a quarterback because Matt Ryan is near the end of his run. You want to upgrade it, and a new general manager and coach want their own guy.
Okay, Bengals won't. Eagles 6.
Look, they talk about being a quarterback factory. I think you punt on the quarterback right now at 6, but I think it is a discussion that you must have when it comes to Carson Wentz or what's behind door number 1 or door number 2.
I agree with you there. Lions at 7.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think you can move. I think Matthew Stafford has value, so I think you can trade Matthew Stafford, bring in a new quarterback, and go forward.
Carolina 8.
Carolina has to look for a quarterback. The owner has said as much.
Okay.
Dave Tepper's on record talking about needing a quarterback. You need a franchise quarterback.
All right. Now, this is where you and I are going to have a difference of opinion. Denver 9.
Why are we going to have a difference of opinion?
Because Drew Lock wears me out, man. It's not working for me.
It's not working, but here's the thing. I don't know if they're going to be in position to get a quarterback. I think you stay with Drew Lock for at least another year. John Elway moving up from the general manager role. Vic Fangio staying. I think you sit tight. You give Drew Lock another full year with Pat Shermer to see if he can be the guy.
Okay. All right, I'm done. That's good. Those are by the way, I do think the Jets will draft a quarterback. I do. But man, I talked to a GM this morning and a vice president. You could get a haul. Bucky, they already have a haul of picks for Jamal Adams. They could get 3 or 4. They don't have a number 1 pick this year. You could get the Niners number 1 next year after. That's pretty tasty.
That's good. The only thing is, whoever the new head coach, he has to come in with a clear plan for getting Sam Darnold up. Sam Darnold has underachieved to this point, and I know everything around him has not been perfect, but I haven't seen enough of the flashes to suggest that he's a franchise quarterback worthy of picking up the 5th-year option and signing him to a deal that's going to be in the $30 million plus range. He has to show more. If that, and a head coach has to say, I feel like I have a system that can help Sam Darnold play at the level that we haven't seen yet.
All right. Good seeing you, Bucky. Thanks for playing along, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Colin. We'll see you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.